Hello, good evening and welcome back to the Fish Locker out in the van. Anybody who's seen any of our van camping videos before will know that James and I converted the back of our van so that we can sleep in it. James is now too big for the bed that I made, so I've had to remodify the back of the van. I'm here to go and try and test it out to see if it's suitable before me and him go out in the van. So the plan is I'm going to overnight in the van tonight, I'm going to do a bit of fishing tomorrow, I'm going to overnight in the van again, then I'm going to transfer to a different location and I'm going to go and fish on a charter. There's not like jumping into the deep end, is there? I'll show you what I've done in the back. Immediately you will see that I have built a bigger bed. Oh, this is my new portable power station. I'm going to talk you through that as well. Yeah, all we've got is this slides out. Ooh, turn to look here. I've quite enjoyed this as a project because me and James did all of this. None of it was square, none of it was true. It was all made just for this van. So this had to be as well. What this will do eventually is it will slide out and this will fold over and that will unwrap to almost be the same size as a double-sized bed. I have everything else I'm going to need. My fishing rods still fit underneath. I've got my fishing tackle, my leads, everything in here. I've got my bait, my freezer bag, clothes, sleeping bag, pillow, everything I'm going to need. I'll take you around and show you from the back. There you are. You can see the fishing rods fit perfectly underneath there. I am eventually going to make a drawer to fit in one of those. But I didn't want to make it until I knew this is how I was going to keep it. I will eventually, I think I'll varnish it, all that. But yeah, this folds out. In fact, it's going to be easier if I just show you. There you go. Oopsie, it's folded out. All the way down there. I'll roll my sleeping bag out. Roll my sleeping bag out, we'll get set, and I'll have a talk to you inside. There we go. The beauty about this being that I can now lay all the way out. Now the setup before just had James sleeping widthways across the van. Unfortunately he's now too long, so we're both going to have to sleep lengthways. If anybody didn't see the last two van camping videos that we did, the first time that we converted this van, I took it straight up to Scotland. And I did like a week in it and it was -4 most nights. And I was okay, I was warm. I'm not going to say I was sweating, but I was warm. Me and James went camping in the summer and I wore this bag again. And I just couldn't sleep in it. It was that hot. I was absolutely sweating. I ended up, I mean, you can strip the legs out of them. I'm going to put some booties onto here in a bit. And you've got a hood. My wife calls it my Teletubby suit. So yeah, I'm expecting that I'm going to be roasting this. Another thing that I'm going to be trying here is I'm going to be trying that portable power bank, that Anker portable power bank. So what I'm going to do is, we've just posted a video, we posted a video an hour ago. It was a scallop foraging video. And I'm just going to run through, I'm going to do a couple hours worth of comments. And then I'm also going to do an hour's worth of editing. Because Jim and I finished a cooking video today. I'm planning on over the 2 days not using shore power, not using like plug it into the wall. I'm sorry, I've got a tickle in my nose. Not using any charging from sockets in the walls. So I'm going to be phones for 2 days, multiple GoPros for 2 days, my laptop for 2 days, possibly even a drone. I'm going to run it all from that portable power bank just to see how it goes. But yes, we've got Simon Edwards. Yet again, a great video. Great to see James liking the seafood. The Solent Warrior, beautiful father and son time. Great video, John. Thanks, mate. Corb Fisher, another of my favourite types of videos you do. Foraging. I love how you teach how to search for various species. You share your knowledge, unlike others that just show it. Corb Fisher, you are very welcome, mate. Yeah, I'll knock these out, do some editing, and then I'll get my head down. See you in a bit. Right. You just see me breath. It's just gone 6 o'clock in the morning. And to be honest, I had a really comfy, peaceful night. Apart from what can only be described as two foxes having a fight under the van. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the heater on for half an hour. It's another beauty of having that power station. Put the heater on for half an hour. And then I think I'm going to go back to sleep. Right, now I've kind of got my life into order, I'm going to talk to you really quickly about my portable power station. This is an Anker 767 portable power station. I got it primarily because I'm going to be doing longer trips in the van. I've reconverted the back of the van out so me and James can do some long trips, like 3, 4, even 5-day trips. And the thing that I struggle with the most is batteries, lights. The heater was amazing. That was brilliant having a heater on in there. So yeah, I will go through the book and I will read out some of the stats because I like stats. Yes, it's an Anker 767 portable power station. GAN Prime Powerhouse, 2048 watt hours. What have we got here? LFP dependable batteries, the most advanced long-lasting batteries. They will remain in a healthy state even after 3,000 charge cycles. This was one of the things, 5-year warranty with a 10-year lifespan. Now, it's not because I smash everything that I have, but I live a robust life. So I like to have something that's going to stand up to it. I mean, that's the reason why I've got the headlamp that I've got. I was a toss-up between two headlamps. One had a 7-year warranty and one had a 1-year warranty. So, yeah, I like that little bit of extra safety net. The world's first GAN-powered portable power station, ultra-efficient charging. Recharges 80% in 1.5 hours with the HyperFlash technology. That's charging through the wall in the house. Charges to 100% in 2 hours. With a 1,000-watt solar capacity to recharge in 2.5 hours. So I can get a couple of little solar panels, stow them inside the van. Then when it comes daylight, magnet them to stop at van roof and recharge it that way. So that's perfect. So, well, last night I charged my laptop fully. I've charged my phone. In fact, I'm going to read one of the lights that I was using. It's got 3 wall sockets, it's got 2 car sockets, and it has got some USB charging sockets here. So all you'll do is just... That's got a 3-watt output at the moment. We're at 76%. So yeah, like I was saying, fully charged my laptop, fully charged my GoPro batteries, fully charged my phone, and had the heater on for like half an hour this morning, which was it was beautiful. And we're at 76%. So effectively, without charging again, if I've got the same usage, that gives me 4 days. That's brilliant. Now there are other sizes in the range. I mean, this is the biggest one. The 767 is the biggest one. I chose that one because I wanted the biggest capacity. You can get a 757, a 555, a 535, and a 521, which is the smallest one. The smaller they are, the smaller capacity. Now, one of the limiting factors of this is it has got quite a bit of weight in it, but for that you have got like a little suitcase handle, so it does make it a little bit more portable. Now that didn't really matter for me because all I'm doing is I'm charging it in the house and I'm lifting it in the van and it's staying there. But if you're going to be wheeling it about at a campsite or something like that, that little handle, I imagine it's going to be quite helpful. Now it does look nice, and it's got like a carbon fibre cover on the top, and it looks good. Now that wouldn't have mattered too much to me. It's just an added bonus in it. I like the way it looks. What have we got in? Smart app energy control. Now you can download an app and you can control it and monitor it through your phone. Now I didn't bother doing that because I've got it next to me. I'm not too worried about that. Like with most things that I've got, I like to try them out in quite a few different scenarios. So I did try this out in the house before I come out. I've got a little mini fridge. I did the kettle, I did the toaster, the usual things. I've got some freezers in the garage which will keep all my bait and my chummy. Now I tried powering one of them on them. So if I have a power out situation, I can run my freezers. You can even get a couple of extension packs, daisy chain them up, and have extra power. So if you have like a lights out situation and need to keep running your fridge or your freezer or stuff like that, it can work. Right, I tell you what I'll do, instead of going all the way through this, I'll put a link in the description of the video. Have a look and you can see what all the different sizes are like. I mean, because I've only got the specs for the first one. Right, we will see how this goes. But right now, let's go fishing. Well, well, they're getting slightly bigger.
Sorry?
So they're getting slightly bigger.
Oh, you got those fish in.
First decent fish come up was a whiting. There you go. I've not been here more than half an hour, just enough time to be able to set up, get my first couple of baits in the water. Now the first rig that I always like to put out is a little scratching rig with little tiny hooks, just to see what's around. Pouting, whiting, little tiny schoolie bass, just gives you an idea of what's living there in the area. And I know it's tidal, if you can see behind me, but the tide's running that way in. First time I cast out, I put a little rolling lead on and it just ran straight through with the tide. So now I'll put a little grip lead on. And straight away within a couple of seconds it pulled out a nice whiting. So yeah, all I'm doing here is these are lugworm. Yeah, on the one rod I've got little scratching hooks. I've got a scratching rig, a 2-hook rig. It's called a 1 up 1 down or a Wessex rig. And on the other rod, the one on the right hand side, I've got a pulley dropper rig baited with squid, and I've just made up another bait here. This is a bigger bait. This is going for a ray, for a little conger, for a bass, for a codling. That's squid and lugworm, and it's a pennel hook setup, being it's got a straight J at the bottom and I'm using a circle hook as the pennel. When I come to bringing that one in, I'll show you the rig. We have got 3 more hours of the flood, so the tide's going to come in for 3 hours. I want to fish up to high water and maybe an hour over it to darkness. Just looking at the area, it's just stunning, isn't it? Finding a nice little sheltered spot is key at this time of year, because it does get very, very cold. Can't miss that bite. We've got another customer. Yep, it looks like there's quite a lot of these down there. That's 2 whiting. I hadn't been out there more than 5 minutes. They're like little piranhas when they get going. They've got really sharp little pin teeth as well. So yeah, if you can see them. But yeah, I've just got a couple of flotation beads on there to try and keep the baits up out of the way of the crabs. And I'm just getting rinsed out by little whitings. Because I know there's going to be a lot of whiting down there, what I've done is I've tipped them with a little tiny bit of squid. Squid's tougher than worm, so hopefully that'll last a little bit longer. Because the fish seem to be that thick on the ground down there, I'm expecting that bigger squid bait that I put out on that other rig has either been stripped or it's going to have a little whiting on. Now one of the ways that you can combat that, one of the ways you can get round it, and it's something that I might do in a minute, is I might tie up a live bait rig, and that's just a big hook with a little baited hook behind it, so that I can hook a little whiting and leave it on there, and hopefully like a big bass or a conger or something like that will come and take the whiting. That type of fishing is all or nothing. You either catch a really big fish or you catch nothing. Carry on like this for a while and see how the bait does. I brought in that other rod and the squid had been pecked about at, but it wasn't that badly chewed. So I'm going to send one of these out. This is, in fact actually, I'll tag a link into the description of the video showing you how to make these pulley dropper rigs. Yeah, they're great for presenting a bait tight on the bottom. What wouldn't want to eat that? Now, all I've done is I've made up a spare rig. This is a full rig, that poly dropper, and I'll hang it from my tripod. Because when the fish come in to feed, the fish will they'll all come through at once or move through. And when I've brought one in, I don't want to be messing about tying up another rig and baiting another one. I can just clip one on now and just cast it straight back out. Saves loads of time. Hooked it fair and square though. A cheeky little hermit crab. Living inside of a whelk shell. All I'm doing with these lugworm is just threading them up the hook. Because I'm only giving it a really light lob, because it's only going maybe 20 yards, you don't need to be too worried about them being really neat. If you're going to be power casting these, all these little bits here would just blast straight off when you cast. Because I'm just giving it a little lob, doesn't really matter. Couldn't have made that up, could you? On one I've got a starfish, and on the other one I've got a whiting. Couldn't make it up. Can't miss that bite, can you? Yep. Just more of the same. A little tiny bit bigger and these would be alright for a fry. Just a couple of floating beads. I think that's a size 1 hook with a little bit of lugworm. Oh yeah. Got a massive mouth on them, haven't they? Managed to sneak out another double shot of sorts. I've got a big old starfish on one side and I've got a little dragonette. Now these, you need to be careful with these. They've got spines on the back of their gills and they've got a little dorsal as well. I don't know if I'm going to get him to be able, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him to stick it up or not. But in their slime, in their fish slime, they have an anticoagulant. So that when they jab you, you start to bleed and you don't stop. There, look. See? That is called a dragonette. Lives flat on the seabed. There must be something about this Marken starfish. Because that hasn't just got one, that's got two. Two honking gate starfish. These are spiny starfish. I don't know if you can see them because they're covered in spines. Yeah, the baits are coming back pretty much untouched now. But we have got a seal that keeps coming past. So I think he's knocked it all on the head. The sun's just going down. I've got maybe enough baits to go for another hour. So I'm going to keep it going for an hour into darkness. Let's get these freshened up and sent back out. This is getting a little bit beyond the joke. How is that even possible? There must be absolutely thousands of them down there. 2 more starfish. That one there looks like a little man, doesn't it? Looks like Patrick straight off. Yeah. Fish these baits out and we'll go. Well, at least it's not a starfish. Hold still. when you get them about, well, over £2, you get a £3-pounder. They are really good eating whiting. They always seem to be really lean when you're getting them in like inshore like this. Now we've managed to find a little pouting. Now if I'd have caught this at the start of the session, that would have been going out as a live bait for certain. I've caught loads of big bass on pouting live baits, or bass and conger to be honest. Yeah. So you're lucky I'm just packing up. It might only be small, but a fish is a fish. Well, there has been a little bit of a change of plan. On the way back up to the van from fishing, I got a phone call from the skipper. I was supposed to be fishing out of Miney tomorrow on a charter, but it's been cancelled for bad weather. So I've come home instead and... What are you watching there?
Cloudy and chance of meatballs.
Cloudy with the chance of meatballs. James is watching a film on the iPad. I am going to finish editing tomorrow's video. Yeah, and then we're going to have a night in the van, aren't we?
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed joining us. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best and...
See you later.
See you later.
Good night.
Good night.